Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Hull Pizza Premiership final between the AFC Casuals and Semi Yorkshire. With me tonight, I've got Benjamin Pfeiffer, who's going to be doing tonight's call with me, and I'm also Mike Anderson. We have got AFC Casuals lining up with John Harland, Kyle Dursey, Ben Lord, Nathan Pavali, Kurt Bell, Lewis Martin, and Ronan. And then we've also got on the subs Armin Harrington Lyons, does call himself Eamon from time to time, and co-captain Fantastic, Jamie Forsyth. Over to you, Ben, to read out the lineup for the Semi Yorkshire.
Semi Yorkshire is fielding their best seven. We're looking at the team that scored the most goals in the regular season, and in goal they're going to have Dan Batten. They're going to play a 2-3-1 with Josh Pringle and Sean Matthew in the back. And then Dan Freer, Sam Fowles, and Fabio Capello in midfield. And they're spearheaded by Paul Marges. Really looking forward to what they're going to be showing us on the pitch.
Well, let's head down to the pitch and we will see what the respective teams think of tonight's chances. How do you rate your chances tonight, Go?
Hi. Yeah, up the Casuals.
And that was a very quick interview with Eamon from the Casuals. It looks like Semi Yorkshire are fully charged and ready to get onto the pitch. And so now back to the studio with Ben and myself, where we will wait for the ref's whistle to kick off the game.
Right, with the kickoff and some straight balls, trying to get the ball forward.
You can see
playing ball control. We've seen them do that a lot throughout the season.
You can see Jamie Forsyth right in the mix there, trying to pull strings from midfield, but Semi Yorkshire obviously taking the ball back, and we're out for the first throw-in of the game. Sean Matthew, a bit of a stalwart for the Semi Yorkshire boys, not sporting his famous Wellington United shorts tonight.
Yeah, he's not had them out and about in a few weeks. But I'm sure they have not been thrown away yet. So Semi Yorkshire with their first getting close to the opponent's box. Some nice ball control here, moving the ball around the box, and the chip into the open space.
Something unusual I see there, Ben, is that it looks like the Casuals are actually deciding to park the bus early on. Quite unusual if you consider what they've gone through throughout the course of the season.
Well, they've only scored 13 goals in 7 games, so they've never really outpaced their opponent. But that bus that they've parked in front of goal for the first few seconds that we've seen here has actually been quite effective throughout the season for them.
Some nice little build-up play here. Oh, can he get a shot? Oh! Somebody just nearly got a ball to a head.
Huge chance for Semi Yorkshire. I'm not sure how many more of those we will see tonight. But a great cutback, finds the gap in the defense, but then just slightly misses the goal to the left.
Lewis Martin and Kyle just making sure that they've got the defensive pressure on there to make sure that the ball gets skewered left.
And the goal kick almost goes straight back to Semi Yorkshire, but the Casual with the first nice build-up, a sprint down the line, the ball a little bit too long, out for the goal kick.
We'll see what Josh and Sean and co from Semi Yorkshire can put together here from the goal kick.
Dan's taking the goal kick and just a low pass over to Josh. Semi Yorkshire are really trying to control the pace of this game and keeping the ball. Josh going into a little bit of a dribbling here.
That's out. Oh,
that's out of bounds, but keeps it in and wins the throw in for Semi Yorkshire.
It's fair to say that the pace of the game really hasn't kicked up to expectations just yet.
Well, yeah, to be fair, these are not two super high scoring teams. Semi Yorkshire, if you remember, scored 22 goals throughout the season, but half of those goals actually came in one game. So, 11 goals in 6 games, even them, although those are the top 2 teams of the league, they didn't outscore their opponents by a lot, but they are actually very, very good on defense and ball control.
You mentioned that they scored 11 goals. I think that was against Wooden Spoon contenders tonight, against the IBU Vauxhalls. Their claim to fame is that they're possibly the best team in the league, but like I said, they're competing for the Wooden Spoon tonight.
Don't we all remember that famous post-match video, that interview that Clive gave? If you haven't seen it, look back to, I believe it's match day 5, we were having quite some fun with the post-match there.
Time for a long throw into the box. I think the referee needs to check the back step there by Josh. And Jamie with a clinical, eloquent header there.
The Casuals don't quite have their touch on them as we're used to seeing it.
It's fair to say that I think the Casuals are missing a bit of rhythm where the Semi-Yorkshire's doing quite well to control possession whenever they got the ball.
Dan now with that long ball, his signature move, and great touch.
That's
great
a lovely
up
touch.
there.
I think that player right there has definitely got a contender for a goal of the season in the previous game. I wonder if he can replicate anything this week. It's those kind of touches that are going to prove quite costly throughout the rest of the game. A little pass like that, not kind of working, but to be fair, I think it's actually happening from both sides up until now.
It'll be interesting to see which team gets a bit of a more calm and controlled touch into their game first and might be able to create some chances to score here.
No, it's
For now, both teams are holding back quite a bit, trying to shore up their own defense.
just enough pressure from Josh there to make sure that John put the ball, a subpar quality ball into the box, to be fair.
The Casuals just had their first sub about a minute ago as well. Eamon's now on the pitch. We saw him just pressuring that pass just now.
Oh, it's a lovely turn by John, but Josh is onto him. He's got a little bit of stumble there, but he gets right back. Yeah, he's still staying on his feet and does enough to put off the cross. Fantastic piece of defending, to be fair.
There's also, there wasn't much happening in the box from the Casuals, so they might need to put in a bit more effort to get up there and actually create some chances. We haven't seen a single shot on goal from them yet. That's actually quite unusual considering they actually topped the league.
Now, it seems to be an obvious strategy there, like using Sean to deploy any sort of ball going forward, and then making sure that they keep possession. Seems like once they get to this point, they're kind of running out of options. Maybe they need to get their men a little bit wider, potentially have a man on the keeper. Here we go, Casuals going up, ball across. Again, that Semi-Yorkshire defence is quite good.
They keep two men back at all times and manage to shore up their own box quite well so far. So throw in for Semi-Yorkshire now, I believe, and you can see Casuals are immediately tracking back again. One man pushing up a little bit, but five almost in their own half.
It's fair to say I think both teams are really just testing each other out. You know, they're kind of looking for the potential easy little breakthrough.
So far there's not been much risk taking, I absolutely agree with you. And hoping to see a little bit more of that. Maybe this game just needs a goal. And then one team has to open up a little bit more.
Well, so often you think that like two teams, they got an amazing record. They're like, this should be a blockbuster final, and then it turns out to be 0-0.
Well, I think it also speaks to what this title game really means for both teams. They're not taking the risk of losing it because they'd rather go to a penalty shootout than getting shown up. There's a lot of respect in this game for each other right now.
Yeah, I can definitely see that, and a lot of weight on their shoulders. So previously, the AFC Casuals, they had a very good season. They were in a very strong league the season beforehand. They were on a charge to the final, and they failed in the semi-finals. On the other hand, the Semi-Yorkshire were playing in a different league on Tuesday nights. They had, needless to say, some player rostering issues. They were turning up with 5 members to games, but they still did incredibly well. They won a game, I think, with only 5 people on the field. And so really, both of these teams laid down a marker this season and said, we're going to be the team to beat. And I think it's a testament to the competition that both of them are in the final.
And as you pointed out, both of these teams have not won a title in better football. So for both of them, it would be their first ever engraving on the trophy. So there's definitely something on the line, and it shows in the game so far. We just saw the second half chance for Semi-Yorkshire taking a shot from quite far out and missing the goal to the left again. But maybe that's a It's a sign of a bit more offense, a bit more.
Well, they're at least
pressure.
they're at least getting shots off, eh? I mean, and to be fair, the casuals you mentioned both have something on the line here. Obviously, you've been at the final, but casuals do have the chance to go a whole season unbeaten. That would be quite an achievement, getting INV on the trophy if they manage to win it.
What do you think, Michael? Semi Yorkshire are playing without any substitutions. They brought exactly 7 men to this game. Do you think that will make a difference later in the game?
Well, it definitely helps them in the sense that like there's continuity on the field, right? And so people know their roles, they can move into the game, and you're not getting the kind of like the mix up when like you run 3 substitutions. But at the same time, these are both 2 quite fit sides. I mean, 90% of the players on the pitch could probably easily play the full 40 minutes. And so, will fitness play a part? Will, if they get a little bit tired, will some casual fouls come in? I'm not too sure. I mean, Semi Yorkshire up until this point, they've been a fairly well disciplined side. So is AFC Casuals. I expect a good fair game, to be fair. Ooh.
So it might actually play into Semi Yorkshire's cards that this game isn't at the fast pace that some of us might have been expecting.
I can see there Semi Yorkshire sorry to interrupt Ben, Semi Yorkshire just got a casual flick on into the near post. That was a decent shot, going in for a corner now, up for the header. Ooh.
Just barely missed that. It might not have looked that dangerous from our perspective, but here we see how close he actually got to putting that ball into the back of the net.
Ah, that's
Just
brilliant.
missed it.
But the casual keeper brought in for the season specifically, his first time ever in goal apparently. And needless to say, he's had a pretty good season. As you can see, they've been fairly stingy in terms of how many goals they've conceded. Oh, there's a nice play here.
1 goal against the Black Barons. That was the only goal they conceded all season. And yeah, he's really thrown everything he has into some of the balls that came his way.
Nice little shout out for the Black Barons there. I think they're competing for the wooden spoon as well tonight. So you got Black Barons against IBU Vauxhalls. A little bit of a shout out here for Ali too, reffing his first final, sporting that lovely tight blue bib. Looks absolutely stunning if I do say so myself.
Yeah, Michael, we noticed that on the other side we had Jamie actually being the backup ref. What do you make of that little experiment, and how do you reckon that worked?
So it's something that we trialled in the bottom 4 semi-finals, and we got a lot of positive feedback, to be fair. And so far, so good. I mean, it's just giving Ali that extra support. So for those of you that don't know, we're running a 2-referee system tonight, and the second referee is simply there to try pick up what the referee is not seeing, because we're very aware that it's a fast move. Ooh, over to you, Ben, for what?
So here's an example. You see Jamie is very close to the action. He sees the contact, signals to the other ref that was a free kick. And I think in that replay, there can
To be
no doubt.
fair, though, there's a little bit of a contentious call there, because I think the casuals player was moving to, at the very least, anticipate that contact.
Well, he was definitely getting out of the way of that kick that was going to hit his standing leg, but I think you can't really blame him for avoiding that. And then,
Oh!
so coming out of that free kick, getting blocked.
What a
Yorkshire
counter-attack!
Goes on the counter, gets an open shot in front of goal.
Oh,
and
sends the
it's a
keeper the wrong way and just smashes it down the middle. What an unbelievable goal.
Great composure in front of goal.
Ah.
And there we are. Semi Yorkshire goes ahead just a few minutes before halftime. And we have the situation that we talked about just a few minutes
I
ago.
think, to be fair, that is exactly what this game needed. A game to get the can opener, open the can, and see what comes out. And now we'll want to see what's inside that can, to be fair. That was an absolutely brilliant goal. Semi Yorkshire showing that they've got what it takes. The police are coming to arrest the defence, to be fair.
Well, I'm not going to even comment on that, Michael, but this is actually the first time all season that the Casuals have been behind. So, how do you think they can respond to that?
And I reckon it's going to be a real test of their character, to be fair. You know, they talk a very strong game. Well, this is going to have to be a chance for them to really prove it. I mean, will they get flustered? Will they still make those passes? Will they be able to keep their cool? Semi Yorkshire really just has to keep doing what they've been doing the whole game. Potentially not that.
Immediately, the Casuals are pushing up. They've got 5 men in the opposing team's half, and they're getting a free kick.
They can't be giving away. They can't be giving away free kicks like that after just scoring. Like that's just, they just got to keep a cool head here. To be fair. Oh.
Well, the free kick gets blocked, and we're on the counter-attack again. And remember, this is how they scored their first goal, but
have they got anyone in the middle?
A little support for this one, so it gets easily blocked by the Casuals' defence.
Maybe that's what you were referring to before. Maybe players are thinking we've got another 20 odd minutes left to go, and maybe we need to conserve a bit of energy. But the Semi Yorkshire winning every ball.
Notice here, Dan's come out of goal, so Semi Yorkshire is trying to conserve as much energy as they can. Swapping the goalkeeper out at least.
Looks like the cameraman's gone a little bit wonky there, but we'll forgive him considering he's been completely ace so far.
Good header from Eamon towards the centre.
Oh, there's just some good contests here all over the park, like in the midfield and defence, like good, strong tussles, and to be fair, still a very good, clean game. I'm very impressed.
Well, both teams are having some trouble getting the ball under control, though. We've seen a lot better play from them throughout the season.
As you can see from the flags in the background, do you think the wind is playing a little bit slight factor tonight? The ball's moving a little bit in the air, potentially. To be fair, though, they've had a whole season of a bit of a wind, so they should be used to it.
I do actually believe that you have quite a good point there, that the wind does make quite a bit of a difference. And we're seeing a bit of a back and forth here. The referee was giving a goal kick, but then Semi Yorkshire actually tipped of the hat to them, admit that they touched the ball last, and give the Casuals the goal kick. So it's really lovely to see some of that really good sportsmanship.
Lovely idea with that through ball. Yeah, absolutely, Ben. I think Semi Yorkshire definitely getting some points for the Fair Play Award, and Casuals have definitely shown a good spirit in this game as well. Now it'll be interesting to see what they can do here from a Semi Yorkshire point of view. Can they just keep the ball, control the pace of the game, or are they going to chase another goal? And potentially that will open up an opportunity for the Casuals to score.
Now that the goal's a couple of minutes behind us, I feel like we're not really noticing a change in the Casuals' approach to the game. They reacted with a bit of a push, but have now retracted quite a bit, and we see them pushing up now into the opponent half. Semi Yorkshire's really closing down that box, aren't they?
Yeah, you see they're just leaving their centre-back Lewis at the back. They're putting a lot of men forward, but you see their midfield gets back straight away. This is just a very, very good game so far. Oh, Danger Man has picked it up in midfield. Can he make a turn? He's got a shot on here.
Oh! This going just wide of the goal. And we've seen a replay here.
Well, did he take a touch there, to be fair?
Block and just wide of the goal. That's a challenge in 7-a-side. I remember us having some discussions whether we should have bigger goals in this competition. But we went for 3 meters by 2 meters, and I believe that the number of goals that we've seen has absolutely proven those that argued for that right. But do you believe that in a final like this, we might actually see a few more goals?
Well, to be fair, just touching on the goal debate, you've mentioned already that Semi Yorkshire scored 11. If they had been facing that same opposition, if we had bigger goals, potentially you're messing with the integrity of the game. I think we've had such a wide array of scores. We've been doing this now for about 5 or 6 seasons.
That brings us to half time, and we've seen a really, really intense and interesting game so far, Mike. What do you make of the first 18 minutes?
At the end of the day, we got two teams. They're battling it up for the title. Fair to say that Casuals probably look a little bit undercooked, and with Semi Yorkshire are just doing everything right. They're 1-0 up. They're just doing everything right. They're making sure they're getting back for defence. They're not exerting too much energy going forward, and it's looking good for them. To be fair, they might hand the Casuals their first loss of the season.
I'm quite surprised that we've only seen one shot roughly at goal from the Casuals so far. They don't seem to be controlling the ball as well as they have been, and moving it as swiftly and with as much determination as we've seen them do it. I'm quite intrigued to see whether in the second half they can turn that around a little bit, and we know that John and Jamie have been famous for their halftime speeches.
So speaking of which, I'm going to pop down to the pitch and I'm going to have a chat with both teams, see what they think.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm quite interested in what they think of the first half so far.
We've just got Dan here from Semi Yorkshire. Good first half.
Yeah, great first half to be honest. We're putting in a good effort. Playing 7 against 9 men, so they've got a couple of subs. So 1-0 up, playing the ball on the floor, getting good chances on goal. It's all going well so far. Fingers crossed we'll just carry on to this next half and whack another couple into it, to be honest, because we deserve it.
Good luck for the next half. Cheers. We've just got John here from AFC Casuals. How was the first half?
We're losing 1-0, but we've got 20 minutes to put it right and win the title. We deserve it.
And we're starting the second half here. Semi Yorkshire 1-0 up. For those of you that are just joining us, it's Semi Yorkshire versus AFC Casuals in the Hull Pizza Premiership. I've got my co-host here, Benjamin Pfeiffer, and I'm Mike Anderson, and we're straight back into the action.
And we're seeing a change in the Casuals' approach to the game right away. They're pressuring Semi Yorkshire with 3 men, while Semi Yorkshire had the kick off and passed the ball back. But that's already quite a change to what we saw in the first half.
Anytime I see a long goal kick from like that in seven side, Ben, I think of my playing days of seven side up in Auckland. It was a final like this one for a football competition called Football Fix. We needed 1 goal to equalise. A bit similar position as AFC Casuals in now. Ball was passed back to me by one Jamie Campbell, who currently plays for the Red Barons in the Wellington competition. I just booted the heck out of it, and you know what? It went up in the air like that, but the wind assisted me, floated into the goal. We won on penalties. Yes, I'm living in the glory days.
Oh my God, that's your one moment, your one claim to fame, isn't it?
I'll take it, and I'll be explaining that story for years to come.
I bet I won't hear the end of it. But while you were talking about that, we saw the Casuals already taking the second shot on goal, and the game's already more open, and
another one.
The post.
Is that a nice save by the goalkeeper? I think. Oh, that's
no, that ball actually went past him and hit the post. Semi Yorkshire with a huge
they could have doubled their
chance.
advantage there, eh? Whoa.
If they go up 2-0 here, this second half becomes
Even there on
the
the replay, you see that like Semi Yorkshire just had all the time in the world to take that shot, and like the Casuals are just sitting back. I mean, you know, Jamie and John really have to rally the troops. I mean, like John said at the halftime chat, they think they've got goals in them. They're only going to get goals if they get that defensive right. They've got to press these guys. They've got a 2-man advantage in terms of having 2 subs on the bench. Surely they can be a little bit more active at this stage of the game.
Yeah, you would think that in halftime that team would have talked about being more aggressive, putting a little bit more pressure on, and getting some of those scoring chances that they were missing in the first half. But what we've seen in the first couple of minutes of this second half, Semi Yorkshire is just actually taking advantage of that little bit more aggressive approach, getting past the Casuals and getting some shots on goal.
Maybe it's like I said earlier, that they've warmed into the game. As you can see there, the keeper made an unnecessary save, to be fair, but corner from Semi Yorkshire. Can he lay it off? And he's taking another shot. Definitely seems to be a shoot-on-sight policy from Semi Yorkshire in the second half. As soon as they get a clear shot on goal, even with a couple of people in front of them, they're going ahead.
Well, you don't shoot, you don't score, right? So you've got to take some chances, and if you get a sweet hit on the ball, and you get the 2-0, that's all you need right now if you're Semi Yorkshire. He's trying to get in shooting position here, and he does it. He actually gets around the player again. Doesn't get quite the dangerous shot off that he was hoping for.
Lovely ball control. And again, the defence just seems to be standing off. A little bit of an obstruction from the... he's just got a foot to it. I think he didn't see it, to be fair, and he's just hit his foot and
Good
gone.
reflex by the keeper. You have to give him that one.
Just first, if we're giving the game in the first minutes of the second half, it's all Semi Yorkshire so far. Sean there at the back, just making sure the ball goes anywhere but there.
And that's a throw in for the Casuals. Long throw right here. Turn around, and he actually threw on the open goal.
Oh, that was his chance to make it all even. Yeah.
John, the top scorer for the Casuals throughout the season, not able to put this one away, and the counter-attack again. Just barely missed the goal.
I thought that went in there for a minute. I was, he's seen the goal, and he's thought, I can make a name for myself here. I'm going to smash it, and unfortunately, he smashed it into the next property.
And the kickoff from the goal kick from the Casuals. John shielding the ball here.
I think at that halftime chat, John must have gone, "Hey lads, I'm up front. Pass the ball to me. I'll do the rest." And unfortunately, he's probably got to get a little bit better service up until now. I see the ref, Ali, there wanting to have a little bit of contribution into the game. Just he was in two minds there. Let's see what Sean's got from this throw.
And we're seeing the Casuals being much closer to Semi Yorkshire right now, pressuring them on the ball. And the game's turning a little bit more physical there. That might be what the Casuals actually need. They have to get onto the ball. They have to control a little bit more of the game. And they're still 1-0 down. They need to make sure that they create those chances.
You can definitely see that, but at the same time, you still you see their midfielder actually pressuring the. That's a beautiful tackle. To be fair, he's timed that 100% well. You see that the midfielder are pressuring, but their defence is still sitting so deep. Do you get what I mean? Like they're sitting almost directly in front of the keeper, where they've got the athleticism to actually pressure them a bit further up. Their keeper seems pretty competent, to be fair. Semi Yorkshire retaining the ball here. Can he release him to go forward?
And the ref called them off here. He actually called the foul throw, if I can see that correctly.
No, I think there's a little bit of a mix-up. I think the Casuals are employing a bit of the dark arts by having a couple of extra men on the field, to be fair. Really, the Casuals need to sort that out and get the game moving as soon as they possibly can.
And we're subbing off here, and the long throw into the box, but then back out again. The Casuals don't seem to have a really good idea of how they might be able to crack.
We're on the break here. He takes a shot. Oh, that's
barely misses.
He absolutely hit that one, didn't he?
He had an open man on the right side as well. What do you reckon? Should he have passed it over?
To be fair, I think he's seen the goal and he's gone, I can smash this top right-hand corner. It's probably just rolled off his foot a bit.
And to be fair, from what I've seen in the 7-a-side that's been going on at St. Pat's, it's really quite often a good idea to take a shot on goal, because every pass is the risk of just mishitting it a little bit, getting the wind into the play. And just it doesn't necessarily mean that you increase your chances if it doesn't mean that you increase your control of the ball. So quite often it's a better idea to hit the ball than it is to pass it across and have another player take an extra touch, try and get control of the ball.
Absolutely, and I think what you saw there was actually quite interesting compared to the first half. We've had missed passes galore. That's the first missed pass I think we've seen in the whole bit of the second half.
That's a very good point. The
And
teams have been a little
they've
bit
tidied
more
it up.
control of the ball.
They've tidied it up a lot. That's good defence from
Ben Lord here.
from the Casuals. The other game seem to be wanting a little bit of the final themselves here, but here we go for a Semi Yorkshire throw, and he's going into the box. Oh, he's taking a touch and it's in! Oh, 2-0 to the Semi Yorkshire.
That's one of the very few header goals we've seen all season. When he gets a great touch on it.
What do you think, Ben? As somebody who stands into goal himself from time to time, would you be quite filthy?
Well, I'm not someone to talk about good goalkeeping at 7-a-side, but I can talk about goalkeeping in general.
Would you be a bit filthy though, letting the goal in near post there? You'd be a bit frustrated. To be fair,
it's frustrating. But what are you going to do as a keeper? That touch happens about a meter away from you.
It's a split second decision he's got to make.
Yeah, so you've got to bank on your defense to stop that touch. So we've now got Semi Yorkshire up 2-0, and the Casuals are really going to have to put some pressure on here. They're getting a free kick on the left wing now.
So for those that have just joined us, as Ben said, we've got Semi Yorkshire up 2-0 in the Hal Pizza Premiership final. These two teams, absolute heavyweights of the 7-a-side competition. Casuals in a very awkward position. They're 2-0 down. I don't think they've actually experienced that the whole season.
They have not been down all season at all, and to be fair, what we've seen from them so far hasn't really been promising in terms of getting some pressure on goal, getting some chances to score.
Oh, to be fair, that throw into the box, the Casual player was completely unmarked. Semi Yorkshire, although they're 2-0 up, have to make sure that they do not leave players unmarked directly in front of goal like that.
They have to keep up their good work on defense. We've seen their two centre backs staying back consistently, fending off any pressure that's coming onto their box.
Because, I mean, if you look there, the Casual subs, hands on hips, their arms are folded, the attitude probably is probably not quite there from them so far.
Well, I mean, to be fair, you're 2-0 down. You're not used to this. There's gonna be some negativity.
Oh, he cuts in and Smith.
Oh,
And he's got one back. Oh, he's got one back, and I think that's Jamie Forsyth. They're one of their co-captains, and
that's exactly right.
Needless to say, I
they
think
managed to break away 3-on-2, cut it back from the goal line. And that's what you've got to do in 7-a-side. You've got to be able to finish on the first touch.
I think members of the Wellington footballing community will really be hearing about that goal for a long time to come if something special happens here. The question here is, though, Semi Yorkshire have been in control pretty much since they've scored, and then with the second goal, but that hasn't lasted long. And so
That's not, and it's really interesting how the Casuals, with the first serious touch, with the first serious chance on goal.
Nice little play in there by John
close.
again.
And John's trying to replicate that goal, isn't he? He
Yeah.
cut down to the goal line, trying to cut it back, but this time Semi Yorkshire is really back in the box, defending well.
To be fair, can you really blame John for trying to replicate that goal since he's probably replicated it like 12 times this season?
Well, he's been on the scoring end of most of those goals, hasn't he?
Long throw into the box. Can they do something else here? Looks like the touch to Semi Yorkshire, so nice defending from them.
So we've now got less than 10 minutes on the clock. 2-1 is the score to Semi Yorkshire. They've been really strong in defending their own box. And Michael, what do you reckon? Do you expect the Casuals to be able to equalise this game?
Well, if you'd asked me a couple of minutes ago, I would say the Casuals aren't really showing any sort of threat on goal. Seems like that goal has probably lifted them a little bit. It's really anyone's game at this stage. You know, we know that we go straight to penalties if they manage to equalise, so it's not like they have to get 2 goals clear ahead. That's a bit of a swing and a miss from Semi Yorkshire there. Nice long goal kick. Does he collect the ball?
And that header isn't strong. Oh, you gotta
No.
get it to his
Started it
teammate.
up. Can Sean get the ball away?
Semi Yorkshire now move the ball around the back. That's actually beautiful.
It just seems like there's a lot more energy in this game now. What can Semi Yorkshire do with the ball now? Can he find the pass? He's in the middle. He goes straight for the shot. Oh,
Semi Yorkshire's been taking quite a few shots from a little bit further out. Do you reckon that's a tactic that they should employ?
absolutely. Like I said previously in the half, I think that they've gone 2-0 up at the break, and they've gone, right, boys, shoot on sight policy. We're just going to see whether we can get a cheeky second goal here, and then they just kept up that policy throughout the rest of the half. They just got to be wary now, though. They can't let that second goal in, otherwise all the pressure will be back on them. They don't have the 2 subs. Oh, Casual are on the break here again. Oh yeah, that's a clear handball. He's left his trailing arm out there. That's fair enough.
There's no motion towards the ball, but since the handball rule changed a couple of years ago, it's off the body, so it is still a handball, isn't it?
Correct. And I mean, like, it's an extended arm. Let's see what happens here. He's going for a free kick.
So we're seeing a lot more shifts in all players tracking back, all players pushing up. Both teams are a lot more on the move than they were in the first half now.
And that's got to play into the Casuals' hands, to be fair. I mean, like, corner coming up here. Oh, he's tried the cheeky near post. I think he got one of those throughout the course of the season. But, you know...
Semi Yorkshire is just too good on defense
Exactly.
to allow some of those things to actually...
The Semi Yorkshire goalkeeper is not going to let a goal in through the near post from a corner kick. I mean, like, I think the Casuals need to give him a little bit more respect than that. Oh, he's gone for a long throw. Nice hands from the keeper.
And we see here Dan's back in goal. He was the starting goalkeeper. He's who they want to see between the posts when it really counts. And we know they want 1 goal. So they
I think the refs missed a crucial call there, to be fair. It looked like the Semi Yorkshire goalkeeper was standing quite far outside his box when he went for that throw.
I did not see that, but that sounds like something he should have really picked up.
But to be fair, we can't expect the refs to get absolutely everything as long. Oh, he's gone for another shot.
And that one just, it didn't look very dangerous. Casuals had the pressure on him, but he managed to turn around the other player and just barely misses the goal. That might have been their chance to put the game away.
Casuals going for another.
Oh,
He scored a foul here.
Free kick there.
Wouldn't mind seeing a replay of that, to be fair. I'm not too sure whether He's
Well, John put the ball past him, but didn't manage to get
so he's blocked his run.
get himself past there. And of course, John Holland's taking that free kick himself.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised Mr. Forsyth is not taking this kick. Previous goal of the season
We've
winner.
only got a couple minutes left in the game, and what's
Oh my gosh! How did he get that in?
We've got 2 minutes to go in the game.
Oh, look at this. Oh, the wall is just too far over to the right, and he's just gone around.
But that's a beautiful play. He hurls it around the wall, puts it into the near corner. And
The look of despair on the keeper and the wall.
It's just
Semi-Yorkshire
that
really.
is a surprising turn of events. It was a very even game. Semi-Yorkshire had the defense shored up.
Semi-Yorkshire really have to lift themselves
For
here.
giving away
It's still an even game. There's still penalties. It's still anyone's game. But you have to admit that AFC Casuals have the momentum here. They've been pushing hard for that second goal. To be fair, it's probably a little bit unlucky
Have they though? They have not managed to create that many chances.
Yeah, but they've still had 3 or 4 more chances in the first half. And Semi-Yorkshire are probably a little bit unlucky that some of those shots that they've been taking from distance haven't stuck.
Absolutely. They've been getting some really good shots off. They've moved around their defenders and have been able to create some chances there, and definitely more chances and shots than AFC Casuals have.
First to the ball from Casuals here. We've got Armin. I think that's a little bit of a foul in the back. I wonder what the ref's called. Yeah, he's called
there's a free kick for the Casuals in that.
Oh, he's chucked the ball away.
Semi-Yorkshire is trying to buy a bit of time.
Yeah, to be fair, you can't really blame the referee there. I mean, it's classic time-wasting techniques. You can't chuck the ball away.
That is a yellow card. That is what it is. We're in the last minute of
Wait
the
a minute.
game.
What's happening here? Oh, I think the player hasn't gone off the
yellow
field.
card should be 4
An
minutes.
enforced substitution, yeah.
Enforced.
All right, so we got a free kick
Semi-Yorkshire
here.
doesn't seem to have a keeper right now. Oh, but someone at one time managed to get back into goal.
And has defaulted into the keeper position. That's fair enough.
Absolutely, yep. He was the closest to the box.
Little bit of protest from the Casuals, but as we would actually say is that the default keeper is the last person on the line.
That was actually the last play of the game. The Semi-Yorkshire manages to block that last shot with their default keeper who stepped back into the box. And that means we're going to see penalties in a minute.
So at halftime, would you have thought it was going to be 2 goals to the Casuals? You know, Semi-Yorkshire looked in charge. To be fair, they looked in charge all the way up to that first goal that went in for the Casuals.
I feel like they looked in charge up until the second goal.
Yeah.
Up until the Casuals actually managed to equalise, because they didn't create the chances that we've seen them manage to create all season.
So we've got an interesting penalty shootout coming up. Bit of a new experience for these lads, I think, from both teams. Definitely Semi-Yorkshire didn't have it last time, I'm pretty sure. And both keepers don't have gloves. So we've got that rule where it's only 1 step. And let's get cracking into it.
Just one question though, Michael. We've seen that for the Casuals, they've had 2 players score vast majority of their goals throughout the season. Do you reckon that might play into Semi-Yorkshire's hands, that they're a little bit more balanced in terms of scoring goals?
Yeah, well, I think you'd probably expect the Casuals to line up with Jamie and John and the 3 penalty takers that they can take. Just for clarification, it's 3 penalties and then sudden death. And they'd be banking on a penalty from John, it's fair to say. Semi-Yorkshire have definitely shared the goals around, so I think this might be a penalty shootout for the goalkeepers.
And those are always the guys to make the difference, right? So, we've got 1 step. We're taking the penalties from 5 metres out, and we've got a goal of 3 by 2 metres. Well, that bodes well for an interesting penalty shootout. Let's see how the guys go. So for Semi-Yorkshire, Dan Batten in goal, John Holland up first, and Dan saves.
Oh, that's going to be disappointing for John. He hangs his
First
head.
goal is saved straight away, and we'll see 4 Semi-Yorkshire.
So Semi-Yorkshire stepping up to take the penalty. We've got Kid in goal.
And we've correct the penalty spot. The wind's definitely playing a role.
Oh, lovely taken. Top left corner. I mean, you can't really ask for more than that.
And Semi Yorkshire go up 1-0 in an only 3 versus 3 penalty shootout.
All the pressure on Jamie Forsyth here as he steps up to the plate. I mean, this is an absolute pressure penalty. What you want in this situation is that you want years of experience. You want to make sure that he's played many, many games of football. He's been in this position before. Let's see if he can do it. He smashes it through.
Smashes in the left corner. Dan tried to react to the shot, but we can tell that this distance, you might as a goalkeeper actually be better off just choosing a corner, trying to step into that and hoping for the best.
And I guess making yourself big. I mean, it's a small goal. Make yourself as big as possible. Hope it hits some sort of body part.
Well, maybe there are some body parts you don't want it to hit, but that's a story for a different time. So Semi Yorkshire back up.
Keeper making himself nice and big. Bit of a flail of the arm. See what happens here. Oh, he's taking it to the face.
Getting it, making himself big in the bottom right corner. Big enough, taking it to the face. But he is able to take it. So that's equalized. After 2 shots each team, we're at 1-1.
With 1 penalty to go, is that right?
That's right. After that, we'll see sudden death. So we'll see where this is going.
Okay, so pressure penalty here. He steps up to take the penalty. What's going through the goalkeeper's mind here? He thinks, if I can save this, I've effectively been the hero tonight. Do you get what I mean?
To be honest, I think what's going through the goalkeeper's mind is please don't hit me in the face.
To be fair, and he probably wants to make sure it doesn't hit him somewhere else. And he steps up, and let's see what the Casuals player can do here. Oh, so close, he went the right way and everything. Okay, so it's all...
We've seen goalkeepers go low quite a bit, so taking that risk of shooting it low, what do you think of that?
I reckon he's just gone, I'm just going to put it along the ground and I'm just going to hope that I take the right way. And to be fair, that's a fair enough strategy. I mean, like, now all the pressure is on Semi Yorkshire. We're talking about a 10-game season. We're talking about these two being neck and neck the whole season. Like, there is literally only a couple of goals that separate these two, right? And now there is only 1 penalty that separates these two. Can Semi Yorkshire step up to the plate and turn this into sudden death? Just adjusting. Oh, he puts it through!
Interesting to see the keeper's actually varying the way he's going with those penalties. He's gone bottom right corner for the first 2, going bottom left now. The taker had his number all the way.
So what we see here is Eamon stepping up to the plate. Recently transferred from the Red Baron Side team to the AFC Casuals. AFC Casuals obviously been quite busy in the transfer market. As a new boy to the group, all the pressure will be on him here. And he smashes it past him. So
Dan's very close to every single one of these penalties.
As two people that have both played in goal, we both have to feel very sorry for the Semi Yorkshire keeper. He's pretty much got an inch off each of the penalties. Oh, and Sean puts it away. This sudden death is just keeps going.
So very up to shot number 5 for each team.
Very nonchalant there by Sean, just like that's just how you do it. Dan, a little bit of mind games here. Can he put it past him? Oh, he's come so close yet again.
It looks like he's trying a little bit to make himself as big as you've described it. He's pulling his arms in.
Exactly.
He's not quite covering as much space of the goal as he might be able to. Are Semi Yorkshire going to pay for it?
Well, you've got a player stepping up here who has been so integral in the last couple of games for Semi Yorkshire. You've got their new signing as the goalkeeper this season. He can write himself into AFC Casuals folklore here by making the save that he needs to make. All the pressure on both of these players. Let's see who. Oh, nice!
And that's actually the championship for AFC Casuals. You can see the excitement and the emotion.
And the AFC Casuals running onto the fans. Hey, condolences to Semi Yorkshire. They had a fantastic final. their last player. We all know how that feels. We've all been there when you sky a penalty. Well, at least I know I have.
How can you not think of Roberto Baggio, 1994?
I was going to mention,
World Cup final.
and actually the Italy players, and also '98 as well. But you know, all credit to both of those teams. But you have to acknowledge the character of AFC Casuals. They come back from 1-0 down in the final, and they've come back to win it on penalties. They definitely probably owe a couple of beers to their keeper. You know, like.
Absolutely, he held his face into that bowl to even get them to the sudden death penalties.
I think a bit of a kiss on the face to acknowledge what a special part of it his face being as part of the team. But also credit needs to go to Semi Yorkshire. I mean, they've definitely laid down a marker that they're going to be hard to beat in seasons to come. I mean, I think this rivalry will go on to seasons to come, hopefully.
Semi Yorkshire have played some great physical defensive football, have managed to create chances against a team that conceded only 1 goal all season. But we have to hand it to AFC Casuals, who managed to pull out that championship and not only come out on top of the round robin, but win a semi-final that was strongly contested and then come out on top in a final that was enjoyable to watch. It was intense. It was some very, very good defense that we saw, and they pulled out just enough.
Absolutely, and I mean, I think it's time to pop down pitch side. So I'll pop down pitch side, and we'll talk to you guys once we've presented the trophy.
We've got Sean here from Semi Yorkshire. How's the game today?
Yeah, it's a good game. Played well. Thought we had the better of the chances. Just lost our discipline a bit at the end there, and letting a couple of set pieces. So it's a shame we played the better football, but yeah, good game.
All right, well, hope to see you back next season, challenging for the title.
Cheers.
Cheers. So we just got John and Jamie here from the AFC Casuals, presenting them with the Hull Pizza Premiership trophy for seven-a-side over summer. Well done, guys.
Up the Casuals!
Everyone get in for this.
Yeah, boys.
So we just got John, Jamie, and the AFC Casuals here, newly crowned champions. How's the game today, boys?
What a final. Unbelievable. We went 2-0 down. We weren't playing great, to be honest.
7 or 8 minutes down.
Yeah, Jamie got us back in it with a goal.
John scored an absolute screamer of a free kick, possibly better than mine, which I'm a bit annoyed at. And then we went to penalties. Kirk, wherever he is, it was so brave. Took one in the face for the team, smashed him square in the face.
I missed the first penalty, but the boys stepped up. They got me out the muck, and Kurt was amazing in goals. And he's the man of the match today. But yeah,
Big celebration.
Cool, and as you see there, very happy, jubilant Casuals team. Thank you everybody for listening. We're into our winter season for St. Pat's. We're doing a joint season with Vic Uni, and we're incredibly excited to do so. And we will have more seasons and more dates throughout winter. Thank you very much for watching. Special thank you to Ben, my co-host.
Always a pleasure. Thank you.
And a special mention to also our Better Football sponsors, Jack Hackett, Rail Clothing Co., Ultra Football New Zealand, and an absolute thank you to Hull Pizza, our principal sponsor. But until next time, we'll see you. It's just Mike and Ben here from Better Football.